Hey, I just want to quickly review what we covered so that it stays in your mind. I'll publish this for you so that you can watch it later. So, what we discussed today was how to use be supposed to, and the examples were we're supposed to upload the deviation summary immediately, but some teams still wait until the next morning. And the second example was the team is supposed to follow the document trail, not simply jump straight into conclusions. Now, what I want to show you is how to show the contrastive stress that's shown here in the brackets. Okay, so the example that I want you to listen to is how I dip down, then go up, and make a short pause in supposed to indicate an external obligation that wasn't met. Let me say it to you, okay? We're supposed to upload the deviation summary immediately, but some teams still wait until next week. So you kind of deliver this in the team meeting, indicating this is something that wasn't done or hadn't been met. Let me say it to you one more time, okay? Feel free to pause. And by the way, also, like I said to you earlier today, take a deep breath. This way, you're not making pauses during the delivery of the point. It helps you also to make it more confidently and to also be oxygenated. I'm gonna get some water just to make sure that I get it out right. Okay, here we go. We're supposed to upload the deviation summary immediately, but some teams still wait until the next morning. And the second one, the team is supposed to follow the document trail, not simply jump straight to conclusions. Now, we also discussed the second thing, use it clauses with a passive voice with verbs of obligation using supposed to. So the example that I wanted to show you when we discussed together in the class is the it or the document. For example, the document was supposed to or it was supposed to. I'll go with it first. It was supposed to have been checked before submission, but it seems not to have been done so. Okay, or it seems not to have been. Okay, let's just get rid of done so. So it was supposed to have been checked before submission, but it seems not to have been. Or with document, this showcases better levels of clarity. So the document was supposed to have been checked before submission, but it seems not to have been. This uses the document and the previous version uses it. This is the example that you said. The business rules were supposed to have been updated before the system refreshed, but it seems they had not been done. Okay. As documentation managers, we are supposed to adhere to or comply with or align with the latest business rules that comply with the system. Again, we got to think of a better verb than comply since we already used it before. So let's figure out a better one to use. Okay. And remember, POR, professionally objective register. This helps us deliver the feedback in a professionally objective manner. Let's look at the second section. The second section was on be expected to. Okay, the structure again, be plus expected to. And look at the contrastive stress. We're expected to finalize the CAPA review before close of business day. Delays affect the entire audit. Okay, and the second one is the team is expected to verify every attachment before submission because missing files can cause non-compliance findings. So the team is expected to. When you say it like that and you dip down on is, this really clarifies in an in-tone manner that this obligation is not you creating, but someone else forces upon you, which is part of maybe your regulatory obligation or your responsibilities. The examples that we discussed was this one over here. The team had been expected to finalize the CAPA review before AOD. However, that's not what happened. AOD, end of business day. Okay. And then, okay, so you asked me, can I just use the past simple tense? Yes, you can. But like I told you, we always want to focus on two things when we communicate: clarity and efficiency. And then we can build out the other parts. So in terms of the past simple, we can do it, but the expectation was in situation A, here on Friday. right? Let me get my annotation tools getting started. Okay. So this is when they had the expectation. It was on Friday. Expected the CAPA review to be done by Monday, EOD, end of business day on Monday. You get to the office and it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet by the end of the day either on Monday. And so you're discussing this with the colleague, let's say on Tuesday or Wednesday, we wrote here Thursday, right? A few days later. So we have three events. We have Friday event. The weekend doesn't really matter because that doesn't count. And then we have the Monday event, and then we have the Thursday event. The delivery of the task was done here, given here. Monday, it's not available when they're supposed to have submitted it, and then we're talking about it today. So this is really, really a really good time to use the past perfect because we talk about the first event had been, was not, and now here we are talking about it, which we don't need to express. So the example was here. So yes, you can, but when we talk about the passive voice, the expectation was at an earlier time, and the non-delivery was the second event, which is the Monday event. Okay. Pensive, remember the new adjective, to be deeply involved in thinking, pensive. Also, you said to me, so we can lightening tasks. It's okay, not bad, but in your level and what you do, I definitely think we'd want to look at the register a little differently. And also, we want to think about the connotation. So the example that I gave you was this one. What would I say? Oh, so we can reduce the task load. Better, better, but still there's a negative connotation in the thought flow. So a deeper dive. Reduce sounds bad, right? We always want to increase things. And it sounds like I'm getting less, right? When we say reduce. But it can sound positive also. Task also sounds like really heavy, like I'm like holding something. I hate tasks. Everybody hates tasks. So the words also, the word combinations that we have here, better than before, lightning tasks, but still there is room for improvement. And then load. I mean, I know you laughed at this when I said this too, but like donkeys carry loads. I'm human. It sounds horrible. So the second example we discussed was so we can increase the task completion potential. Ooh, sounds like fun. Task completion potential. Sounds like fun. Sign me up. Can I get order two of those, please? Supersize them, please. So increase sounds like fun. Everybody wants increases. Task completion potential, that noun phrase sounds like a lot of big party. So we set ourselves up for a positive thought process when we say this. So here, instead of saying so we can lightening the task, okay, let's flip the script, use some psychological safety wording like we discussed from Unit 4A, and say so we can increase the task completion potential. Wow, that's a lot better, isn't it? So potential can also be switched with capacity. But for me personally, I like potential because it has for me, I don't know, a better cognitive positive connotation level. And also for me, it sounds more aligned with what we discussed in terms of the psychological safety that we want to build within our teams. And we covered this in Unit 4A. All right. This last page that we talked about was be mandated to. We said, oh, if we have enough time. Uh, Oh yeah, we also discussed giving it in the passive voice. We said if you don't have enough time, so we can increase the task completion potential. The second option was using the passive voice. If enough time isn't available, the task completion potential can be increased. Let me go through that one more time. If enough time isn't available, the task completion potential can be increased. Again, more passive voice, but be careful. You might sound a little more too corporate-ish, so that you might want to change that. The last example we covered today was be mandated to. I remember up on the A sound, be mandated to. Be mandated to. Again, you have the authority to do this. So it's your prerogative. You have the right to do it. We're mandated to follow the new international auditing standard. There's no flexibility on this. I'll talk about the softening language a little bit later, but let's go to the second example. The department is mandated to log every system change request in the global tracker. However, that's not been happening lately. Can we discuss why? Now, again, be mandated to. Slow. Be mandated to. So we're mandated to follow the new international auditing standard. There's not much flexibility on this, I'm afraid. We put I'm afraid at the end and make a short pause between the last part on this and I'm afraid. Let me say it again. We're mandated to follow the new international auditing standard. There's not much flexibility on this, I'm afraid. Or, we're mandated to follow the new international auditing standard. I'm afraid there's not much flexibility on this. The decision where to put I'm afraid is completely up to you. You can also say I regret, but I really don't like that because in your position, you shouldn't be regretful because you're a leader and this is something that you're mandated to and it's part of your professional responsibility to undertake. So I would prefer to say I'm afraid just if you want to soften it up, but you don't have to. All right, I'll see you on Thursday. Have an awesome day. Bye.